You're listening to the Storytime Podcast.
Welcome to this episode. We have Steve Cooley, the founder and CEO of Art versus Math. Steve, if you could do a quick intro for us and kind of what your company is and what you do, that'd be great just to start us off.
Absolutely. Yeah. My name's Steven Cooley. I founded this Art versus Math thing, also mortgage advisor tools, and we help mortgage lenders and mortgage technology enhance their business. We solve massive problems, help drive revenue, and refine processes for tech and mortgage lenders that are trying to figure out how to grow or solve massive issues within their business. So we've been kicking it for about 3 years now, and we've been really fortunate. And in Mortgage Advisor Tools is a web listing for mortgage tech companies. It's completely free to lenders that want to find new mortgage technology to help solve the 10 million problems that they have with maybe the current tech they have, or just trying to find something new. So that's what I do.
Awesome. This episode, guys, what we're going to be talking about is specifically for the mortgage industry. There are some tips if you're a business owner or real estate agent you can take away from this as well. But Steve, I'm excited to have you on because you have so much experience in mortgage. Why did you get in the mortgage industry? I don't think I've ever asked you that.
I have no idea. I don't know what I'm doing here and why I stay. But no, it's actually the mortgage industry is a pretty interesting beast. And I mean, once you kind of enter into it, it's almost impossible to get out. I mean, it's extremely fascinating, and it's the people, it's the products, it's the impact that you make, not only just immediately, but So I don't know. It's pretty cool. So I entered the mortgage space at a little company called Finance of America Reverse. And they were actually the largest reverse mortgage company in the country. I started as a loan officer, and I was actually changing, business sectors at that time. I was a failed entrepreneur of sorts, and which was a badge of honor in technology. But I wanted to get into the money game, and I had some friends that were doing mortgages, and I thought that looked interesting. Within a couple months, I identified that there were some challenges with the marketing, and got super promoted, and end up ultimately rising to superstardom at Finance of America to a degree. And then they very kindly gave me the opportunity to start my own business. And so no, it was a really cool journey, actually, and real grateful.
Yeah, I think too, what you mentioned about the mortgage industry, about making an impact, why I love the mortgage industry is you make an impact so quick because you're affecting individual loan officers and their branches. Yeah. It's not just a company. You're affecting like multiple people so quick.
Absolutely. No, there's opportunities to help, these referral partners. There's also different mortgage models that exist. And so we've been lucky to work within just about all of them at this point, whether they're independent brokerages to regional offices to enterprise level businesses, call centers and whatnot. So it's been very cool. And no, I mean, that is the truth. I mean, you're trying to figure out where marketing should live within the mortgage entity that you're trying to help. And that's a big challenge, even understanding where marketing should be, focusing to make the most impact.
Yeah, and I say we get into it. So first question to start us off, what kind of tech do you see having the biggest impact on not just the mortgage industry, but individual loan officers? What tech platform or tech in general do you think is going to affect them the most?
Has the most impact on a mortgage lender?
Yeah.
There's three that kind of lead the way. So all mortgage companies probably have a CRM. They probably have a point of sale, and they probably have a LOS. Those are the three, that's the nucleus of technology in any mortgage industry. And so from there, it gets really interesting really fast, and every entity is considerably different and requires different types of technology, kind of plugins and, and whatnot to kind of enhance what they're trying to accomplish based on their business model, their customers, their loan officers, and the people that they work with. So, but those are the three that always are the biggest lifts to change or to make a decision on when you're starting or trying to when you're starting your mortgage business, and if you're going to make any massive technology shifts, and also when you're looking into other tech to actually plug in or integrate with those systems, those are always going to be considerations.
And you mentioned the CRM. I was in the mortgage industry for a while, and I still kind of am because they're helping loan officers.
You can't get out.
I know, seriously, I'm always going to be in it. But with the CRM, when I was working at these mortgage companies, like it was the same emails that were going out for everybody, unless if they wanted to personalize it. Do you have any tips that you give a loan officer to personalize their CRM so they're not like everybody else? Now they can differentiate themselves.
Well, I mean, yes and no. I mean, there's lots of schools of thought around that. I did actually done a lot of chit chatting about this week. I mean, there are, the technology that's brought into a mortgage company should reflect the culture of the business and their model, right? So, I mean, it's very hard for a loan officer to necessarily, do something completely different. It's almost, it may be counterculture to how that business is trying to run. The loan officer is not the only person using that mortgage tech. Like marketers are also trying to use it to optimize to scale. So, I mean, it's kind of tough. Now, if you're a smaller entity, then there's a lot of cool individual-based CRM platforms that are available to you that you can totally customize to the nth degree. And I do think different instances on bigger enterprise level, CRMs allow you to do some customizations. But really, then if you can't customize it, like as far as like its functionality and its features, then what you're really wanting to customize is the content to which it is going to push out for you and market on your behalf. That you can customize. You can go in and definitely develop your own email campaigns, text campaigns, social media campaigns, and make it individually you. So it's living on the same vehicle. It's being pushed by the same vehicle, but there is some nuance you can add to it, so it does create value for your brand.
It's awesome. And we're a video company, so I got to ask you the question: how important do you think video is to individual loan officers trying to grow their business right now?
I mean, if you have a business Facebook page, it's the best place to look, and you pull up your insights and you go to the posts, the history of posts, and hopefully you've done at least one, 3, 4, 5 videos, and you look at the difference between not just impressions but engagement against those posts, that will tell you plain and clear how important video is. So, video versus static post, unless that static post is announcing or creating some sort of emotional or social currency for that person, does not, have a chance against a video, showing, how cool your cat is. I mean, so like, it's just night and day. And I mean, and that's why, companies like Story, get to have a real opportunity to make an impact, create convenience, create relevancy with the trends and ease of use. Right. So, I mean, that's where you guys have a neat opportunity. And so, but yeah, video is extremely relevant and necessary. And so it's pretty vital that loan officers love it as much as they possibly can.
Yeah, they got to get on it. I think too, just for the CRM, like we talk about personalizing your campaigns. When I talk to loan officers, they think video just is used for social media. Like I'd say 3 out of 4 times that's what it is. But imagine having a video in your email campaign and the other loan officers not having had that impact that it could have. How do you think like mortgage technology, maybe CRM or the LOS, will change in the next 5 years for our loan officers?
I don't know. That question's probably too smart for me. I mean, I think that those are, point of sale and the LOS in particular are pretty complex, back end technological solutions that actually do a pretty awesome job. So much so that there's legacy technology that kind of runs the business. So, I mean, there are inevitably going to be massive changes based on how, the marketplace continues to respond to marketing and, and the mortgage rates and how they are actually sold loans. So I think that's a great question. I wish I was the guy to answer it, but I mean, I do know that things are changing all the time and new technology is always popping up, and our job is to find it and exploit it so that mortgage loan officers can discover it and make some of those decisions on their own to match up the best tech with their company.
Yeah, that's awesome. And say, especially right now, we're in uncharted waters. Like things could change so much. We have like no idea for prediction. It's just, I've never seen this before. Maybe you have. As loan officers, you have your more tenured loan officers and you have new loan officers. For a new loan officer in the business, what tips would you get them to get through this cycle? And I've never been through one of these. Maybe you have, Steve, so you have some recommendations for it. So
No, not like this. I mean, I think loan officers that, I've worked with a lot of experienced loan officers and some that are trying to figure it out. And I mean, activity, in any sales job, activity is going to be paramount. And, and that's, if you talk to the people that are really, doing okay this year and making it happen, I mean, they're tenaciously hard workers. And that's going to win out. And I mean, in any company, when there are down periods, down quarters, down years or whatnot, oftentimes advertising and marketing gets put to the wayside. It's easy to do that. If you actually don't do that and you're the person that is top of mind during these down times, when demand does come back, you become top of mind. And so it's a bit counterintuitive because it's easy to say, let's cut advertising and marketing out of our lives and just focus on kind of sales-esque activity. But the truth of it is the people that market and advertise and figure out a way to become top of mind during times of low demand are the people that capture the most when demand hits.
Well, it's funny you mentioned that with marketing and people cutting off marketing. And I've seen it both ways. I've seen like things are going so well, they don't want to do any more marketing, or things are going bad, so they don't want to spend as much money on marketing. Yeah. And to that, I would say you got to keep marketing going like consistently. You can't just like, oh, let me turn it off here and there. Like if you're not always top of mind, people are going to outperform you by far because they're continuing to do marketing. And you don't always have to pay for marketing. Like we have social media. Is there any other things that like you could recommend to loan officers do that like you don't have to pay for someone to do for you, but still keep top of mind?
Scotsman Guide and a lot of the media outlets are looking for writers. Yeah. So say something. It's a tough gig for sure. And I mean, but I do a lot of that throughout the year. I mean, there's podcasts like this that, people need guests to speak about different things. I mean, there's also localized podcasts that need, help and need guests and need content. There's no shortage of free opportunities to get in front of people and be the expert of what, be that community expert in mortgages. So no, there's quite a few different type of platforms and opportunities to leverage so that you don't have to spend marketing might need to be redefined if it is a budget restriction that you're looking at. And so, I mean, I could define this as marketing for myself, I suppose, and say that, like this opportunity to get my name out and, but no, I mean, I think you got to redefine it a little bit, redefine, maybe this is a loss leader for 6 months. And I'm going to spend $3,000 over the next 6 months, just staying top of mind and, and then pay attention to that money and see if it materializes in a couple closed loans. Hey, I did see that ad. I did see that story. I did see that, that thing you said, and that, left an impression. So I kept you bookmarked. I mean, so you never know. I mean, like it is an interesting time, but what I do know is that thoughtful, genuine, marketing that creates value does resonate with people. And it might not provide that conversion and that sale in the immediate and in the normal sales cycle that everyone's used to, but it will materialize results.
I would say too, get into guerrilla marketing. Like obviously you want to scale, but right now where like it's not really scalable with the market, try to get into that guerrilla marketing. Do stuff that you've never done before. If you never recorded a video, or if you are, invite a real estate agent, or vice versa. If you're a real estate agent, invite the loan officer to record a video with you so you can hit both of your feeds. I think it's a crazy time, but it's also a good time for new loan officers, I think, because if they can outperform these newer loan officers that don't want to put in the work as they are, they could totally succeed and they could get past even tenured loan officers. But that's just my thoughts. What do you think?
I'll give you guerrilla marketing to me is the most audacious thing you could possibly come up with to drive awareness. So we had a technology company when I was doing the bank thing that did a fax machine campaign. And they sent out faxes to their prospects, and their conversion rate on it ended up being like 60%. Because all the faxes got printed and put on my desk. and they did their value proposition, and it was like and it was they got to do a little design, and of course it had that fax look to it where it looked like it'd been printed 50 times, and they put it in front of my desk, and like I called them, I was like, this is brilliant. They're like, yeah, we just did like 6,000 of these, and we are overwhelmed with demos now. So I mean, like that's
crazy. I didn't even think of that. That's awesome.
The old medias that we believe are irrelevant, out of home, mail, postcards, written letters, business cards even. I mean, like technology is awesome, but like if that's not going to do it for you, and it feels like too heavy of an investment, the fax machine thing cost them nothing. Them nothing. They designed it and they put it in a fax machine and they sent it out. So it cost them time. So I mean, like,
do you have any other? No. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Do you have any other tips other than that fax machine campaign that like Guerrilla marketing? Because I think like take a real estate agent to lunch. It's not scalable, but it's something like you can do to start building your business. Do you have anything else that you could add to that?
Well, I mean, how about not take them to lunch, and how about take them skydiving?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
I mean, again, we all eat lunch. I mean, how about do something that actually leaves them, with a memory? I mean, like, so no, I mean, if we really want to leave an impression and give people a reason to remember you, like, I mean, I do a lot of business lunches and dinners and drinks and coffees and breakfasts and blah, 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 and Zoom meetings and whatever. But like, I mean, if you're really interested in providing a different level of service, why don't you could absolutely personalize and provide an experience. Be like, hey, I was going to do lunch, but there's this clay pot making class. You want to go hang out there for an hour? Like, okay, like, why not? And all of a sudden, you and your new realtor have made a clay pot together. So
that's awesome.
I don't know. I mean, like, but that stuff is old school, man. And like that stuff works for a reason.
No, I think that's awesome. I think that brings up a point, because I always say, like, make sure you bring value to that real estate agent, but it got me thinking now, like, making a memory as well. But if you're trying to provide value, something that you could do is, hey, let's record a video together and I'll have my team edit it for you and get it back to you, and I'll help you with the video, right? So like there's simple things that you can do that are still free. That's part of that marketing. But that's awesome that you mentioned make it memorable, because I haven't did tons of lunches. I've been on a bunch of meetings through virtually, and I forget about those people, right? But someone took me skydiving. There's no way I'm going to forget about it.
You're never forgetting that guy.
No way. Okay, that's awesome.
Like, take 5 minutes and look at their Facebook profile and the stuff they're into, and take them to do something like that. Like awesome. I mean, like it's really, like to put in that type of, if you have that on the ground effort, that community based type of business that you're trying to grow. I mean, like, people have interests that are kind of available to see now, good, bad, or indifferent, and you can go check that out. And I think that's a really cool thing. Like, take them to a concert, take them to, I mean, like, like, oh, I see you're into this. Do you want to, like, whatever. I mean, like, there's ways to personalize things, and like, it doesn't all, and if it's worth it, you'll spend the money. If it's not, then, I get it. But like, that there's something about that. If you're going to do, if you're going to do 20 lunches, it's also pretty expensive.
Right. And then who's going to remember you out of that? So I think my takeaway from this podcast episode, like my biggest takeaway, is if you're going to do something, make it memorable. Don't do what everybody else is doing. Because that is like real marketing, like taking someone to lunch, but how memorable is that? Hopping on a webinar, how memorable is that? So I think that's awesome. Steve, thanks for hopping on. Do you have an ask for our audience that you need for your company? Either one. Mortgage Advisor Tools is a free resource for mortgage loan officers, mortgage professionals. The biggest part of that platform that needs leverage the most is we need mortgage loan officers to go there and leave reviews for companies. So, I mean, we need that. We need the mortgage industry to really tell us who's killing it, who's not. So, I mean, I think that's I guess that's an ask of sorts. It takes no time to click over, find the vendors that you use, and leave a thoughtful review. Give them a star rating, and that's it. And they'll take you a whole 60 seconds. So outside of that, no. I mean, like, we're I do this because I think that there's a big opportunity for this industry to continue to enhance or to be enhanced, and I think that they need a lot of help. And
I'm interested in doing just that. So I appreciate the time, and yeah, dude, I appreciate it.
It's awesome. And let's throw his social handles on there too, team. And then while we have those up, please go to his page, go to his website. It's Mortgage Advisor Tools, right?
Yep.
.com. Okay. Go there, leave a review on the ones that you are using. It really is a super cool website. It's going to help you guys know, like, what is everybody else using as it gets bigger and bigger. I haven't seen anything like it. I truly haven't, especially for loan officers. So please give it a visit. Thanks again, Steve, and we'll see you guys next week on Storytime.
Cool, man. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Storytime podcast. Be sure to catch us next time to stay up to date with all the latest on content creation and social media. Also, subscribe to our trend reports at story.co/trend reports to get the latest trends in your inbox. We'll see you next time.
Storytime Podcast.